come against. So BBQ topic.
Hello, at what time we can start the program, sir?
Our resource person is on the way. We will begin in 5 minutes. Okay. Let us please wait. We will begin
Okay,
in 5 minutes.
okay.
No, for you only, sir. That title you asked, no. At the bottom of it, I have written all the titles. Their names and their titles. Session wise. Yes, sir. Sir, what, sir?
ఏమంటారండి తెలియని కుర్రోడు నేర్చుకుంటారు అలా చెప్తా ఉంటారు ఇది కూడా నాకే చూపిస్తారేంటండి వాళ్ళు ఆయనే వెళ్ళి పెట్టారు
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Kishore. You are welcome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Kishore, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
you are welcome for FDP. Yeah,
Yes.
I'll ask our people to introduce you, and you can.
Yeah. Am
Okay,
I visible, sir? Am I visible?
No, actually, 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute.
There must be some permission.
So permission? No. You are talking. No.
Yes.
Yeah, that one. I'll give you. That
Sir,
presenter.
I am able to hear you, sir. Sir, your voice is good.
Yeah, voice is fine.
Yes, sir.
I'll make you a presenter. You
Your
please
voice is
wait.
good.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I think I made you, Kishore. I made you a presenter.
Okay.
I hope you would have got the control, right?
Yes. 1 second, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Anand sir, shall I start, sir?
Yes. 1 minute, madam. We will ask
Okay,
Kishore
sir.
whether he is ready. So you can.
Okay, sir.
Kishore.
Yeah, sir.
Okay.
I think that sharing option has to be enabled, it seems.
No. That is what I made you presenter, na? So you can do it. 1 minute. 1 minute. Once again, I'll check. Already I made you a presenter. I think there won't be any issue. That in your this thing, what is that? One arrow is there at the top.
Open share tray arrow is there.
Yeah, that you press. You just open your PPT. That you press, and then you share your PPT. We can check it.
Yeah, I'm checking. There is something called a share option. Yes. Yeah, I can share, sir.
Yeah, you just share it. We will check it also. No problem.
Whether it is visible, sir? Visible?
Yeah, it is visible. Yeah, it is visible. Yeah. You just you go to your first slide. Then I'll ask madam to introduce you. Okay.
Yes.
Madam, Durga ma'am.
Sir.
You can proceed with introducing the speaker. Okay, ma'am.
Okay, sir.
Yes, please proceed.
Good evening, everyone. I am Sri Durga Kameshwari from EC Department of GMR Institute of Technology. I welcome the resource person, all the participants, and faculty members of various institutes to the 5th day of our workshop, Advanced Signal Processing Communications using AI and ML Techniques, jointly organized by Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering of GMR Institute of Technology, Rajam, Andhra Pradesh, and Sri Sairam Institute of Technology, Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Today, we have Dr. Vijay Kishore Sonti as our resource person. I would like to introduce the resource person to all the participants. Sir is currently working as Associate Professor in Satyabama Institute of Technology and Science in Chennai. He is a passionate teacher and researcher having more than 18 years of experience, delivered various talks on spectrum of topics related to artificial intelligence, microelectronics, leadership, and career guidance. He has been awarded as Best Faculty 3 times and Erasmus Plant Grant received with international exposure to Poland, Mentor for Change selected by NITI Ayog. He is author and co-author of 1 book, 8 book chapters, and 1 monograph, and published more than 90 research papers in peer-reviewed journals. And he is also a motivational speaker and psychologist. We are very happy to have you as a part of our workshop, sir. Now, the session is open to you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. I think, am I audible and the screen is visible now, ma'am? Last confirmation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. At the outset, first of all, let me express my deep... Hello.
Kishore, sir, put it in slideshow, sir.
Yeah, sir. I'm doing that.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, is it okay, sir?
No, it is not in the slideshow. It is the
Now,
usual
sir?
this thing only. Also, no, if it is not, you do one thing. You just make the PPT PDF and then you upload, sir.
Okay, sir. I'll just do one thing now.
Yeah. You just make it PDF and then you share it. It will be.
Oh, then it will be okay. Okay, sir. I'll do it.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. My dear esteemed participants, first of all, let me express my sorry for a 15-minute delay. And we are talking about technology, and technology is highly non-cooperative at times. So this is one of the finest occasions where we can see. I have to rush from the university to my home to just come here before you. So that is the delay. First of all, sorry for it. And I'm ready with my PDF and I'll be sharing as told. 1 second. Yes. Am I audible,
Yeah.
sir?
Okay. Kish.
Yeah.
Yes. Audible.
Yeah. The thing is, first of all, my special thanks goes to Dr. V. Kannan, sir. And if at all if I'm not mentioning my rapport with Kannan, sir, I fail in my duty as the research scholar of Dr. V. Kannan, sir, who is professor in EC department. And sir, I know from last 17 years, and he was the backbone of my academic growth. I can say that he was my supervisor in MTech when I did my VLSI, my second post-graduation, and thereafter followed by my research supervisor and guided me throughout the process. Thanks a lot, Professor Dr. V. Kannan, sir. Without you, I think this day may not be possible for me in the life.
Welcome, Kishore. It is not needed to mention all these things. Okay, it is there all the way.
No, sir. That is a duty as an academician. So, sir, I think once again you need to give the presenter permission.
Okay, fine. I'll do it. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Now it's moving, no, sir.
Yes. It's
Yes.
fine.
Okay. So, as of today's topic, let's straight away get into the topic. The topic that was given to me is artificial intelligence, and it's a disruptive technology in the modern day era. So, this is most important as well as the fascinating topic of today's technology circles. When I've been to Poland a few years before, I was asked to talk on economic implications of artificial intelligence on healthcare systems. So there was a very wild question placed by one of our scientists, and I was addressing around 45 countries scientists in that conference. So they told that you are from electronics background and you did some psychology, post-graduation in psychology and a PhD in microelectronics. How can we believe that you can address a topic of artificial intelligence and then you can impress the crowd which is very, very diverse. Throughout the world, we have got people here. Then I said, okay, it's so simple. I was playing this very famous video of Incredible India for 2 minutes. And then the scientists started asking me a question that, sir, how is possible that India is having multiple cultures and regional languages? How diverse this particular country is? I was telling to them that, yes, I exactly came from the soil, which is known for the diversity, and it is nothing for me to handle a crowd, which is just a couple of scientists from different countries here. So that kind of confidence has led me to write nearly 8 book chapters in artificial intelligence and covering various interdisciplinary topics like smart electronics and smart grid management, healthcare systems. So today, let us see how disruptive it is, because you can call any kind of technology as disruptive only when the technology is making a bottom level change within our life system. Bottom level change in the sense.
You just stop.
Hello. Yeah. Any disturbance, sir?
No, no, no. No, sir.
Bottom level change in the sense, you can see my second slide. If you can see that there is a kind of smiley, a transition. That means, for example, 40 years before, we never imagined that there is something called as mobile phone. Today, you have the mobile phone even in the hands of the vegetable vendor also. So that means mobile phone has intruded into our life system in such a way that today you can't live without a mobile phone. This kind of technology is called as disruptive technology. Of course, any kind of media, satellite, whatever you take, which is completely become a part and participle of our inherent system, then that can be called as disruptive technology. So it is very early to declare that AI as an disruptive technology, because still the natural intelligence has got its own shots when it comes to the technological innovations. But we can say that yes, AI is making a definite inroads in various systems, particularly in healthcare and as well as the energy sector. When providing the clean energy and optimized energy, AI has its stakes. In fact, in one of my book chapter on artificial swarm intelligence and applications in AI, I clearly mentioned that how you can mitigate the challenges that come over an energy sector using the artificial intelligence technology. So basically, I address a lot of people being the mentor for change in Niti Aayog. Even the last Saturday also, I was talking to a couple of school children in Lateral Tinkering Lab. When I asked a wild question to the students like, what is the difference between the normal intelligence, natural intelligence, and artificial intelligence? The students were crazy. The 9th class student was answering me that, sir, natural intelligence is something which is always there with us. Artificial intelligence is sometimes that we go as a plug and play mode. It's really a good answer. I've asked the same question to one of my student in BECIC with the AI specialization. They were having some kind of bookish definitions. So you might have heard from many speakers that what is AI by this time, and I think my friends also spoke to you about machine learning and other topics. So let me tell my version of AI to you. AI is nothing but just borrow from our human behavior and apply in machines. So it is a transition that could help us to take a journey from man-machine interaction to machine-machine interaction. So it is a very misconception, because 60 years before, there was a talk like engineering was the most misused word in the academic circles. So in the same way, today, artificial intelligence is the most used and misused word as jargon in technology circles, because nobody knows what exactly we can do with AI. AI is not a topic that is related to only computing scientists. Please make a mark of it. AI is not a treasure of computing people. AI is a culmination of computing, electronics, management, bio, neurological systems, which is perfectly backed by a kind of computational intelligence. So this is where you have your AI today that is based in industry as well as academia circles. So if you understand the AI from this perspective, that yes, this helps us in applying the natural human tendencies. That is what prompted me to do MSc Psychology also from University of Madras, to help one of my research scholar who is working in AI. So this is how AI takes you to the place of transformation from the fuzziness to the clarity. So anything which is ambiguous can be handled by fuzzy long back, but that is slowly getting replaced with all kind of learning, robust learning process that happens in AI. That is why your sorrow force can be turned into smiley when you employ AI in somewhere. But always we have this question. BCSC student is also studying AI. BSc computing science student is also studying AI, as well as we have experts from different industries. Whether all of them can take a single test like this, like our Indian education system, right? The elephant, the monkey, and in fact, not Indian education system, everywhere present, we have this kind of scenario where everybody belongs to different expertise are going to take one kind of litmus test to prove their performance, which is absolutely wrong. So that means today you cannot take AI for granted for every kind of application. You must know where it can be applied and what is the background or foreground that is suitable or conducive for artificial intelligence technology and its related applications. So you should measure your technologies applicability before you are going to use it. So this is how the AI application can be paced into. So let me tell you that there are two things that are very important in electronics if you want to make use of it. One is observability, the other one is controllability. So if you don't have these two parameters, you cannot apply any kind of technology into a given system. So one is observability, the other one is controllability. When it comes to the AI, there is one more point that we have to measure, that is adaptability. So this is where I just see my slides looks a little crazy because I always take the non-conventional approach of handling technical topics. So this is my way of handling things. I hope that you get fine to it throughout the course of the presentation. So adaptability is one parameter that you have to look for when you are applying any kind of ML. For example, let me put it very straight, because I know that there are some students also may be attending. In fact, some of my scholars also registered, it seems, to this FDP. So for the sake of the early birds in AI technology, let me tell you that if you take ML, machine learning, AI, artificial intelligence, DL, deep learning, these three you can call them as concentric circles. Concentric circles, matlab, you can say that artificial intelligence is the outer circle, and inside you can have your inner circle as machine learning, and thereby you can have your smaller circle as deep learning. So deep learning techniques are employed, and funnily all these deep learning techniques are depends upon, once again, electronics, the so-called neural networks. Okay, so you go anywhere in artificial intelligence, your basic roots are going to head towards only electronics, fundas in electronics. So we can proudly say that artificial intelligence is having a major chunk of its share from electronics only. In fact, the sensors, the IoT systems, and the kind of topological structures and everything, architectures related to electronics, which are serving for the major purpose of the implementation of these kind of machine learning algorithms. If you take SVM classifier, random forest, XGBoost, whatever you take, every process is having only one rudimentary aspect, that is going to be iteration. If you don't have iteration, for example, many speakers would have told you about the epoch in the epoch is set as 50 in a machine learning algorithm like SVM classifier, and nobody has a clue why it is only epoch as 50. Even the researchers working in ML also are not having any clue why it is 50, because most of them are generally the experiments which are completely not having any kind of mathematical background, and they're empirical in nature when you are setting up certain kind of values like epoch. Of course, the training systems and the research papers that are available in public domain will give us necessary kind of guidance to set up these kind of epoch, and 80%, 20% training and as well as testing ratio. So in any kind of ML algorithm, generally we have 80% for training and 20% for testing. What is this percentage is all about? This is about data set. Whatever data set you take in AI, 80% we are going to use it for training and 20% we go it for testing. So this is how. So again, come back to the parameter of adaptability, that is nature versus nurture. In fact, my dear participants, let me tell you that this is a nurture driven system. It is not nature driven. Nature driven system is what God has given us, and we are living with the kind of natural intelligence you and me possess. But whereas it is nurture driven, even in my universal human values class to artificial intelligence students today, I was addressing that as it is all about nurture. How do you interact with your surroundings? How you observe, perceive things, how you train from there, and how you conclude and how you apply all this, what you have learned in the journey of dealing with these kind of algorithms. So when you take this artificial intelligence, as I told you, that it is just like a nurture, like a mother's lap. Okay, you have a chance to go for a kind of closed loop mechanism, in the sense here everything is driven by a feedback. Yes, you will calculate the loss function. By this time you would have listened in the last 4 days FDP what is loss function. I don't want to disturb you with a very big jargons, so I will tell you that it is error function. What is the expectation and what is the outcome? Today 4 o'clock you may be expecting me, and even organizers also may be expecting by 3:50. So but I just joined by 4:15. So the error function is 15 minutes. So this is what, so expected time as well as the arrived time. So everywhere you have this kind of error. When you are able to model it with any kind of mathematical expression, you call it as a loss function. So the loss function should be minimized. This is one of the target in any AI environment, and for that the nurture has to be done, and the nurture will be done by the so-called training. Training in the sense, that's what number of iterations that you take in order to fine-tune your inputs and your data set, as well as the data set contains some kind of features, right? The feature selection is very, very important. In fact, random forest is a perfect algorithm which helps us in choosing the right kind of framework. Okay, so let me tell you from this slide what is the takeaway. The takeaway is, yes, whatever you and me by virtue of our DNA possess is natural intelligence, and what AI offers to us is, of course, the nurture driven environment. Even in IIM Ahmedabad, one of my mentors is from IIM Ahmedabad, and she always says to me that yes, it is always there is a kind of close nudge between the nature and nurture driven trichotomy when it comes to dealing with AI systems. So here, this is what we are in the junction of discussing about AI, because our NEP 2020 policy has guided us. In fact, I spoke with one of a policy member in the recent past in NEP 2020 headed by Professor Kasturi Rangan committee. And I was telling to them that yes, it is a very big tiger on the paper, but how far when it comes to the implementation we can realize this? Because you target about self-reliant India, but you are increasing your dependency on the technology is the other way around. So we have to carefully balance our aspirations towards using the technology and the kind of hindrance that technology causes to us, and our original way of thinking. So self-reliant India is possible only when you restrict yourself in using the technology to the limits of its efficiency, and any kind of optimization towards it is always warranted. So optimization means researchers always has a perception that it is all about reduction. Optimization is not reduction. First of all, you please make a clarity on that. Optimization is nothing but reaching out to the requirement of the customer. So the customer here is Indian education system, Ministry of Education. The outcome that they are expecting is self-reliant India. As a person who is practicing this AI, we have to reduce the loss function. That means always in Hindu newspaper every year in the month of May and April, we'll get a common column that there is a huge gap between the academia's expectation, academia's outcome and industry's expectation, loss function. So that has to be reduced. If it has to be reduced, that it is not that we celebrate today about the disruptive technologies like AI, IoT, IONT, IOMT, triple IoT, whatever it may be. But its celebration is not important, blockchain technologies and all, but how far you are able to assimilate into our system by dissemination of the knowledge related to this particular emerging technologies. So this is where NEP 2020 success lies. Otherwise, it looks like a tiger on the paper. So this is one of a simple example. Recently, I was giving to an FDP that our joint families, like because the technology disruption we are talking about, you may think like why Kishore is bringing these kind of slide related to families, how it is related to technology. Exactly, I am there. In 1970s, when you say a family picture looks like this. If my cursor is clear, if you can see my cursor, sir, anybody can give a small clarification whether my cursor anybody can see, sir? Cursor? Hello? Hello? Can anybody see my cursor?
No.
Okay. Okay. Then whether
Yeah,
the
now I could.
Yes, sir. So this is the, thank you, sir. Thanks for the confirmation. So this is where we are talking about 1970s, here 1990s, and here 2000 or whatever it may be. And what happens in future is the biggest question, because there was on a funny note, there was a saying also that the nuclear families are become very, very nuclear. So with the advent of technology, because even people are not ready to talk to each other even though they sit in a close proximity. That means that technology is increasing. The importance of technology in day-to-day life is increasing, but the connectivity between humans is decreasing. This is the biggest concern. Because when I'm talking AI as a disruptive technology, we should also understand that how disruptive it is. It is disruptive so that even we are missing our basic method of communication.
Yes, sir. We can see your cursor, sir.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
So this is what we can see from the other side also. Education. Quickly coming back from families to education, let me tell you that this is what we have Shantiniketan model. Then we have a kind of residential schools. Then we have places where Sainik schools. Now online education. Last 2 years, I have an opportunity of discussing with nearly 50 to 60 vice chancellors across India about Indian education system in various forums by Economic Times and other platforms. We have a common opinion here that online learning is good, online education is bad. So what is happening now when we talk to each other is online learning. It is not online education. Online education includes evaluation also. Today, if you ask any student across India, they say that, sir, offline classes is good, online exam is good. Why? Because there are only MCQs and you can tick and pass it. So online education is not good for any system. Online learning is good. That means this is one of a disruption. This is one of a disruptive technology, usage of technology in academics, and how they have changed the face of the technology. I'm showing you as an example because I'm showing the very nature of AI to you, how it can make a changes in our life system in future. You can see that this is called as a Portia, a kind of spider. And why you are showing your spider here, sir? Because I always deal the things like this. When you see a spider, it is nothing like it's a kind of biological creature, nothing technical about it. But let me ask you in understanding that you are designing a kind of drone. Now look at this spider from the perspective of drone. Now the spider is not looking like spider. It is looking like a mini robot with around 4 legs and around 2 degrees of freedom. If my cursor is clear, you can have a bent here in the leg. So that means this is 1 degree and here 1. So 2 degrees of minimum freedom, and you have a kind of small robo system or a drone which is ready to fly with a kind of payload on the top, that is head of the spider. So it is always the way you look at things. If you see this as a simple insect, a biological insect, nothing. So just like that, I'm not showing a spider to you and ask you to visualize as a robot. In fact, the solenoid robot was designed using the spider as a inspiration. That is why I always told in the very front of my lecture that it is a nature driven nurture. Artificial intelligence, swarm intelligence, or ambient intelligence. In fact, I have written one more book on ambient intelligence also in the recent past. So everything is inspired by only nature. You can't run away from nature and develop something new. In fact, if you can watch this full video of this spider, It tells us in how many ways the technology enables a machine to stretch beyond the expectations of human imagination. You can see from this video. You can play this video a little later, and then you can enjoy this. And now I just want to skip the slide here because it becomes too non-technical. Now I'll go to this. So when it comes to this artificial intelligence, this part generally, I don't think the computing science background person can speak, because it needs a different level of expertise. Being a scientist, engineer, as well as psychologist, I take the liberty of handling this slide for you. As from the psychodynamics perspective, there is something which has to be contributed in artificial intelligence, because in artificial intelligence, the clear parameter that is required is mapping. You must have the potential or capacity to map things. But if you have to map it, your hippocampus region, because in human brain, this is called as hippocampus region, wherein which it is responsible for all kinds of memory, and amygdala included with this is responsible for the kind of emotional intelligence. In fact, Mr. Satya Nadella, hello. Yes. In fact, Mr. Satya Nadella, when he visited IIIT Hyderabad long back, he was telling like it is not AI, it is all about EI and SI that is going to rule the world in the near future. What is EI and AI? EI is nothing but emotional intelligence, and SI is nothing but social intelligence. So it is not AI. World has moved from AI. Now world is talking about SI and EI at the backdrop of AI. So this point is very handy for the researchers who want to work more on application of this ML and so-called DL algorithms, RNN, LSTM, or CNN, conventional CNN algorithm, or any kind of hybrid models. If you want to apply in a supply chain system in any kind of commercial scenario, generally you have to look at from this perspective also, because when you talk about supply chain system, you have to take the behavior, customer behavior also into account. When customer behavior comes into the purview, definitely you have to talk about the social intelligence. So all these three have a great degree of nexus. Means what are the three I'm talking about? Artificial intelligence, social intelligence, emotional intelligence, perfectly knitted by computational intelligence. I don't leave you just by telling here and there some words. I'll give you a standard examples of computational intelligence and how they can intrude into our life system. So this is all about fight and flight response. For example, if you see a Python, Python is not the language I am talking. Of course, the same Python has been adapted into this artificial intelligence environment. Even I'm a Python certified developer from different agencies. I've got 3 certificates in Python development, and now one is going through Delhi University also. So this is a normal Python. This is a biological Python. When somebody sees biological Python, they have got 2 types of responses. One is fight or flight. That means when you are making an expert system, I just want to stop here for a minute, because I started the talk already 30 minutes, more than 30 minutes. So I just want to stop and ask the participants a simple question so that I'll see the attentiveness and we can move forward. The question is very, very simple. There is a fight or flight response when Python is watched by the human intelligence. When you program or when you design an expert system, are we going to bank upon the positive perspective or negative perspective? First of all, what is an expert system? Any participant, what is an expert system? If you have any clue, that would be fine. If you have a clue about expert system, that would be fine. Otherwise, I can even say. Anybody, what is an expert system? Or I'll make it very simple. It is very odd to ask you in the afternoon post-lunch session a question by a speaker. Generally in online, you won't get much response. So, but I'll make dilute the question for you. Decision-making system. What is a decision-making system does in a typical scenario? It takes a decision-making system bound to take a decision. That's all. A decision-making system has to take a decision. What is technology in this? A decision-making system has to take a decision in a timely manner, even though there is a kind of ambiguity in the working environment. Even though the constraints that are offered to the system while in the process of taking decisions, even though the literals or parameters guiding the system to take the decision are unclear, if the system is able to train by itself, if it is self-reconfigurable, if it is self-tolerant, if it is self-adjusting, then it becomes self-reliant. This kind of decision-making system is possible only when it is empowered by machine learning algorithms. If you want to make it completely automated, this is what I'm trying to say. Because expert systems and decision-making systems are not new to the technical people. Already we have fuzzy systems, we have fuzzy control systems, we have various other membership-related driven systems. But only thing what I say, that's what neuro fuzzy models are there. So only thing what I say, if you want to more automated, if you want to reduce your noise margin, then definitely you have to bank upon the systems like AI, which is generally more refined process than that. Then definitely the any kind of natural intelligence input is very much important. So you have to design a system, a small control unit, which is equivalent to hippocampus or amygdala. That is why perception behind showing this slide to you. And the system should be instantly responding, sporadically responding to fight or flight mode kind of response. So you have ample choices of outcomes here. Today, MS, NBA, and NAC, we talk about outcome-based education, but our outcome-based education is in the flight and fight mode, because we are not sure about what kind of outcomes we are heading towards. Because and we never thought about that an AI class will have a psychodynamic perspective. Yes, 360 degrees view about any kind of technology helps us in getting perfect insights that are related to different dimensions of technology as well as non-technical aspects. Just to clear that kind of indication in your minds, today I'm bringing some non-technical aspects and I'm interlacing with technical topics related to artificial intelligence. So now coming back to this, I'm an innovation ambassador from MHRD IIC. So I'm just interested to talk about innovation, because most of the outcomes of AI technology are expected to have innovation as a buzzword. That means we say that where is the epicenter in the case of earthquake. Now we have a disruptive technology in modern era. We are talking about artificial intelligence. It is like a seismic wave. Artificial intelligence is a seismic wave in a platform like modern day technology. But what is the outcome? The outcome is expected to be always innovative. If you say that outcome is innovative, then what is a key element that we are talking about today related to the innovation? That is intelligence. Now, let me clear you the air by just telling a small difference between what is knowledge and intelligence. Suppose you have listened last 4 days, you have listened FDP related to AI. By this time, you have acquainted with the jargons related to AI. That's fine. Couple of algorithms you would have seen. Very good. But where should you apply this? Many speakers would have given you insight that, yes, I can use it in hospitality management. In my previous FDP, one student has come from hotel management. When I was talking that how AI can be applied in hotel management, the participant was jumping. Is it so, sir? Can we apply this in hotel management? Of course, you can apply there. When you can apply something on climate prediction, why can't we apply in hotel management? Because AI was first tested on these aspects related to weather prediction. In fact, recently, one of my friends has completed a research, and even I helped him in getting up some fine-tuning in machine learning algorithms that we have used in LSTM related topics. Weather prediction. Last 10 years, what is the weather? It is completely unpredictable, particularly in tropical climates like Chennai and all. You can't predict that climate when it is going to be rainy, because it's a very rare day. But even then you can do it. Some kind of machine learning algorithms training will help you to find out that, yes, it is very close to the kind of geo maps that GIS will provide to us always. So that means there is a lot of difference between knowledge and intelligence. Knowledge, you can easily get it by listening, by reading, but intelligence comes only by application. So in fact, it is very bad to say that artificial intelligence you have to use a word, correct word, artificial intelligence application. It is AIA. That is a complete way of referring to this artificial intelligence technology. Without application, it is nothing. The mere listening of AI knowledge will not lead us anywhere. You need to know how you have to apply. If we have to need to know, then we have to look at the things which are guiding it. As I clearly told that there are some kinds of skills. See here, artificial intelligence, if you have only steering in hand, the steering is nothing but the knowledge. Only mouse drives you. You cannot drive the technology. If you want to drive the technology, if you can drive the technology, your artificial intelligence can be used in these many fields. If you can see my cursor, energy, drugs, nanobiotechnology, nano devices, optical engineering, defense, bio, of course, cosmetics, fabrics, we have listed only limited things here. Even in market prediction, even stock market prediction, you can use your AI algorithms. See, let me give you one hint. Wherever you require prediction, there you can always use AI. Wherever you want a kind of definite outcome, you can apply your AI. Wherever you want some kind of enhanceability, you can apply your AI, whatever may be the field. But how suitable the problem should be? Today we discuss about in business model canvas. When you are talking about technology business incubation, we talk about business model canvas. When you say business model canvas, the important parameter in business model canvas is all about how you translate the literals into equations, the equations into electronics. This is the biggest question. For example, y equals to a into x of n plus b of x of n. There's a simple equation. Y equals to a into x of n plus b into y of n or x square of n, whatever it may be the equation. When you see this as an equation, it's boring. When you see that, yes, there is some multiplication there, there is some addition there. Instead of x of n, if I write x of n plus b into x of n minus 1, there is a shifting operation there. That means you can use a Laplace transform there. That means you have a shifter, you can use a barrel shifter, you have an adder, you can use a fast adder, you have a multiplier, you can use a Wallis multiplier, Pauli multiplier. That means you can imagine a whole lot of things from a simple equation. That means a mathematical equation is realized into an electronic architecture or a design. And now you look for the innovation into it. Even one of my research scholars attending this particular session has done such kind of work, like applied some kind of mathematical intelligence, computational intelligence, and just completed her work and related to it. So this is where mathematical intelligence can be easily applied in electronics. As I told that your AI is nothing but mathematical intelligence. And then what is a key thing? That is updating, iteration, loss function, mapping, interlacing. And the most important word is, I'm very sorry, it's all about, when it comes to the mathematics, it is all about iterations and reducing the error function. Yes, very good. Now, when it comes to the innovation, there is some other thing that we must be careful when you are talking about research. What is the unit cost of your innovation? Nobody can claim that I have done some kind of research and nobody can repeat it. If somebody says that I have done some research and nobody can repeat it, they have not done the research. Research should have the necessary component of repeatability, reproducibility. Okay, so that reproducibility should be very simple and subtle and easily done. So there your expert systems will make the process so feasible. Okay, and now this is one of the examples. Suppose if you are anybody from economics background or from management side, now AI is used in HR. For example, if you want to switch over a job today and you are applying you're uploading your CV into your Monster or Naukri.com or Yuva Jobs or somewhere else. Earlier, the recruitment process was so robust, like they call one-to-one interviews, they conduct some Skype interviews or person-to-person interviews. System driven by AI kind of technology, And there are some keywords that will be given, the experience, these many years, skill set, Python, and these many certifications, these many degrees, and these many FDPs, and these many projects. So everything, every keyword is being given to that data set or features. We call them as features. And based on these features, and that particular expert system will select the CVs which are falling in the line of those keywords. The rest of them will be automatically discarded. So the rest of the CVs will be automatically discarded by the expert system, and just hang on to the only CVs that are having these variables. So this is one of the advantage of an artificial intelligence system, which makes the process of the HR, human resource manager, very, very easy. They won't sit today that and go by CV by CV by looking into how many publications you have, whether you have Elsevier or IEEE. Everything has been programmed, everything is written, and whenever your CV is uploaded as a document into that, and it takes it. After that, even you can use OpenCV there. OpenCV is one of the platform that image processing applications of AI they can use for. In OpenCV, if you write a code and your CV is taken as an image, and they look for the portions which are related to the keywords that are set up already as the features in the data set, and if at all that is existing, then that particular CV will be taken for further selection. So how easy it is. Of course, there are some disadvantages in this process where you have more human competent into it. Now, let me come back to it. I'll always go for a flip-flop kind of mode when I discuss about any kind of FDP, because having FDPs in online is a very big task. We don't know how many people are before the systems, right? We don't know how many are really attentive. So it is the job of the presenter to bring them back into the mode. So let me show this to you. And I just ask any participant to, I don't know whether chat box option is there here. If you can see any AI in this, because this is a test. I'm showing you a picture. Find out anything which is related to AI here. If nothing is related to AI, please write in the chat box. I have not found anything related to AI. I just want, if at all any chat box option is there, I think that can be enabled so that, or if somebody wants to unmute themselves and say, that is also fine. Can you see anything that is related to AI in this particular slide? Because we are grown up with the perspective that AI means always some kind of algorithm should be there. Not necessary. Not necessary. We can learn AI in different ways. Any participant can look for any one particular word that is related to AI. I think we have nearly more than 40 participants. 44 participants are there. Yes. Because if I keep on talking for another 1 hour, it becomes a radio jockey kind of thing. So let me see if at all anybody can figure out whether any one word that is related to artificial intelligence, because this is not the first day. You are into the last day. I suppose you have one more session left. So if I am right, by this time you can easily figure out something is related to AI in this.
Systems thinking, sir.
Excellent, sir. Sir, may I know? Mr. Kondababu, sir, excellent, sir. First of all, there is one participant who is responding. For that one participant only, we look, sir, today in online education. Okay? Literally speaking. Yes? If it is interactive, it's super. Because next Sunday, I am going to teach AI for Indonesian professors. Indonesian government has approached me to deliver a session on artificial intelligence in teaching, right? I just told only one thing. I don't know that language, Indonesia. I can speak only in English, but I need a translator who can interact with the participants so that it will be easy. So we have two sounds here. One from Mr. Kondababu, sir. Thanks a lot for it. Sir told about thinking, right? Sir, am I correct?
Yes, sir. Yes.
What thinking, sir? What thinking you figured out in that? There are a lot of thinkings that are mentioned, it seems. We have lateral thinking, we have critical thinking, we have systems thinking. I think you are talking about systems thinking, no, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Excellent, sir. Very nice, sir. See, in fact, I don't know if it is a Zoom platform, I would have done many things here. This platform even new to me, because I did it in WebEx and all. Microsoft Teams is new. But if you can see once again the cursor.
Collaboration and communication.
Yes,
In
ma'am. Who is this?
collaboration, we have communication, sir. Sir, I'm Zubeda, sir.
Zubeda, ma'am. Very nice, ma'am. Nice listening. First of all, very happy that 2 participants are live. Okay, very good. It's a great thing. Now, ma'am, what you are saying?
I'm saying communication, sir. In collaboration, brands, one in communication.
Excellent, ma'am. So one person is saying that cognition, the other one is saying that collaboration. So slowly in the 5th day of FDP, participants are ready to figure out a technical aspect from a non-technical slide. It's a wonderful stuff. It's a wonderful stuff, and the organizers have succeeded in conducting an FDP because 2 participants could able to bring out something from nothing, because I have shown nothing to them, but they are bringing out something. It's a wonderful learning that would have happened in all other sessions, because thanks to all other speakers also, they would have educated you much better. But okay, cognitive is okay, collaborative is okay. Is it not related to creativity? Is the AA is not related to creativity? Is it so?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It is related to creativity also, right?
It is. It is, sir.
It is. In creativity, what is an interesting aspect here? Because just now I told artificial intelligence outcome should be innovation. Let us see what is the definition of innovation. Today we are talking about adult tinkering labs in primary schools. Then innovation has intruded into the school level. And how we are celebrating this innovation in college level, in engineering college, in universities, it is not yet celebrated. Because innovation is something, it is not just bringing out a product that is commercially viable. If at all a product is not commercially viable, it is not an innovation. Market. Because in the last two years, the MHRD Institute Innovation Council, MHRD IIC, is continuously giving up a spree of sessions, a spectrum of topics which are related to innovations, and if they are not scaled down to a level of TRL, where in which you can convert into a business model, you can't call it as an innovation. All the hackathons, toycathons, all kind of competitions that are rallying around the companies like Metro Graphics and Smart India hackathons have got only one point: whether you are good enough to convert your prototype into a business model or startup. If not, you can't climb it a technology readiness level of innovation. So my dear participants, cognition, collaboration, creativity. These 3 are important in AI, in any disruptive technology. Forget about AI. AI is very old. Artificial intelligence is outdated. Today we are talking about better things than artificial intelligence, ambient intelligence, SWAM intelligence. Okay, it's outdated already. Whenever Sophia has come into the market, artificial intelligence is outdated. Now look at the slowly other things: leadership, social, civic, emotional. Are you not seeing any artificial intelligence into it? Participants, if you can little more stretch in the evening while taking a nice tea, you can look at this and tell me whether any kind of AI terms are there in emotional. Carefully see that blue color branches, blue color leaves. Can you figure out any word?
Adaptability, sir.
Huh?
Adaptability, sir.
Excellent.
Adaptability.
Very good, ma'am. Thanks a lot. Zubeda, ma'am, you are from which college?
I'm from ISL Engineering College, Hyderabad, sir.
Excellent, ma'am. Very nice. Very nice. Thanks a lot for this. So adaptability, because I always have weakness, my dear participants. Whenever I have a question with me, I would have told answer already. I don't want my participants to get failed.
Self-awareness, sir, one more. Self-awareness, one more. Emotional.
Self-awareness. Oh, somebody is also answering. Very nice. Thanks a lot. Who is that, ma'am?
Vimala Kumari, ma'am.
Very nice, ma'am. Thanks a lot, ma'am. So self-awareness. First of all, let us see what Zubeda ma'am says. Adaptability. See, my dear participants, you please hang on to this. What I have done in the last 45 minutes is I have introduced you AI and its kind of robustness in the applications, and what are the features of AI that can increase its applicability into different domains, and what is its vastness, how simple it is, how complex it is, how stupid it is. This is what I have done. Now what I'm going to do is how disruptive it is we have completed. Now I'm telling you what are the features, because you know a technology, but you don't know where its applicability is there. What is the use of having the technology with you? Even in IITs also we have very big labs. But if somebody is not using the lab, what is the use of having a lab there? Similarly, you have AI, because all other speakers would have spoke about the AI in its totality. Today, what we are trying to do is, what are the literals in AI that makes it more friendly to apply in different environments? Because I have shown you how many fields are there. From nursing to nutrition, everywhere you can use AI. Then in that case, what is its vastness? We are picking carefully one word. And one sir has told about the systems thinking, one madam spoke about adaptability, and the other ma'am has spoken about communication, and now one more madam is talking about kind of awareness, sustainability, social and civic engagement. My dear participants, hang on to this word, sustainability. You talk about governments, you talk about global economy, you talk about school, you talk about college, you talk about policy making. Nobody is completing their policy without using the word sustainability. SDG. People who are working with governments will know and understand it better. Sustainable development goals. Particularly people in administration know about it. Sustainable development goals. Without sustainability, you can't imagine any system today. And so we have done the last one, pale green. What is the pale green thing which attracts and links to AI? Because I can relate each and every term to AI, but I'm happy that participants are picking their choices so that I speak about only them because of the time constraints. Okay, this is a kind of magic we are doing today. I want somebody to pick up from leadership. In leadership, which particular leaf is close to AI? If you've done this, yes, every part of this slide is useful to AI. How it is useful, I'll tell you. You don't worry about it. In leadership,
Entrepreneurship, sir, or organizing.
excellent, ma'am. You are Zubeda, ma'am, right? Excellent, ma'am. A very big digital clap for you, because you are so active and you have very good observatory skills. So entrepreneurship and organizing. These are two very good words which are very close to us. Now, without wasting further time, let me knit all these things. Cognition is related to psychology. Emotion is related to, yes, human system once again. Social and civic engagement related to social intelligence. Emotion related to emotional intelligence. Cognitions related to psychology. Leadership related to interpersonal intelligence. Collaboration is related to engineering intelligence. And creativity is related to everybody. Holistically, all these are different epicenters of this disruptive technology. But to go along with the lines of my friends who spoke about system thinking, critical thinking, problem solving, lateral thinking, all these four are part and participle of any expert system empowered by AI. You can make a note of it. You can make a note of it. And in this, adaptability is a very good word. I'll tell you how it is. In this, organizing, entrepreneurship, as correctly picked. In this, innovation, ideation, visualization. These three are very close, very superficial. Others are also related, but superficial things we'll discuss. And when it comes to this, sorry, it is communication. And of course, to a certain extent, conflict management. And when it comes to this, sustainability. This is the only one thing which we can closely relate to AI mechanism. Sustainability. Of course, environmental balance you can speak, but it is little offbeat. Let me say only sustainability. Now come back to this slide and discuss what is critical thinking. Before discussing about critical thinking, I just want somebody to say, if at all they can say, what is thinking? Forget about critical thinking. What is thinking? Sir, why you are asking this question in AI class? AI is all about artificial intelligence. So intelligence is nothing but a repeated application of any kind of knowledge. Knowledge is nothing but a kind of base that is created out of learning, listening, receptivity, sharing. That's fine. Then in which cognition is one part of it. So thinking is one part of it. If thinking is known, we can know what is critical thinking. What is thinking? Anybody? Most of us have done this particular path, across this particular path, so that we are here. What is thinking? Thinking is a process, a guided process. Okay. Then what is critical thinking? It is a critically guided process. That means the process that has got different levels of thresholds. The process which has got multiple thresholds. That means in an algorithm, yes, ma'am. Yes, in an algorithm, in an AI-based algorithm, you can have a multiple threshold points. You can make a note of it. You can design an algorithm. You need not worry about always the available algorithms. You can design an algorithm. In that algorithm, what is the necessity here? You can have a multiple threshold points, not a single threshold. Then it becomes critical because it redundantly updated. And then what is lateral thinking? Yes, horizontal thinking. The lateral thinking facilitates the multidisciplinary approach of AI systems. And whatever systems thinking, a system is a collection of ensembles, and all the ensembles are real entities according to the classical physics. And when you attribute the parameter of thinking to the classical physics, it becomes definitely a quantumized aspect of your thought process. So you've got a classical physics here, but this becomes completely a psychodynamic perspective, right? So a psychodynamic perspective of AI system, it has to become a good expert system, good decision-making system. Yes, it has to get trained with the problem-solving approach. In fact, it depends upon the theory of principle of optimality. There is one good principle called as optimality. I recommend and suggest all the participants to go through the principle of optimality if you have time later. The principle of optimality says that if at all there is a problem, there will be a solution. If at all there is a solution, there will be an optimal solution. If at all there is an optimal solution, the optimal solution will be a part of holistic solution. If at all there is a holistic solution, it must be an answer to kind of a challenge or a problem. So the optimality principle says that any kind of solution, optimal solution, is a subset of holistic solution which is against to a problem which can also have sub problems. It looks little confusing, but this is how that optimality principle is all about. Let me tell you in simple words, if at all you can find out an optimized solution, it is a good answer to bigger problems and smaller problems. This is in short. You need not worry much than this. So if you find an optimized solutions means which is in relevance to the spec, then in that case, you are providing a problem fit solution which can be readily marketable, because you are talking about innovation in AI systems. So this is how these are related to AI. So when it comes to the adaptability, of course, you are working with IDE. Yes, anybody wants to intervene here? I think no. Okay. So here when it comes to the adaptability, yes, you are working in an IDE, integrated development environment. So in an IDE, adaptability is must, because you are working with sensors. The sensors should be robust and they should have a very great degree of sensitivity. Then in that case, because we always plug and play with this kind of proximity sensors, pressure sensors, heat sensors, etc. in IoT enabled systems. Anybody are using here ThinkSpeak, Node MCU? Anybody are working with ThinkSpeak or Node MCU? If not, you can work out with them. You can understand the importance of this kind of adaptability, because That is where now we have the intelligent sensors into the market, because they fine tune their tolerance levels in par with the ambient conditions that are prevailing in the workplace. So that is how even this is not a new concept. Earlier we used to have ICs, which can be used at military standards and typical lab standards. The same concept is completely automated, and you got this kind of adaptability into a tiny elements like sensors also. So this is not a very new concept, but of course old wine in a new bottle. So that is how adaptability drives this this kind of technology. And when it comes to the innovation, I spoke about it, but I'll tell you, my dear participant friends, the most important core element of this AI systems is ideation. Without ideation, you don't have this tree. This tree name is artificial intelligence. This tree name today I'm giving, it is artificial intelligence. Without ideation, there is no tree. Ideation is very, very important. What we are doing, in fact, from last 1 hour is ideation only. We are doing only ideation, right? So I don't want to speak much about it. If you have any doubts related to ideation, you can always put me in the Q&A session. Okay. So when it comes to this side, communication, the other ma'am is saying, of course, as an electronics engineers, we always want the smart enabled communication systems to prevail in any place. Today, we are talking about computer networks, right, which are completely automated, and your TCP IP is having different versions today. And in the place of cables, we are talking about optical cables and wireless standards. You have Zigbees today, right? We have IEEE 802.11bz standards, which are completely facilitating the wireless communication. You are talking about software-defined radios. We are talking about cognitive radios. These are the implications of disruptions in communication field. So your AI systems also will find its own place in notching out some kind of application which is related to communication. Of course, to make the communication process ease, we do that. And now when it comes to the sustainability, I spoke about it. Let us move slowly from this slide and we'll go to the next one. Yes. We are attending an FDP, 5 days FDP. It created some impact. It leaves an experience. It leaves with you. It leaves you on today evening by 8 o'clock with some kind of learning, but it has to be converted into application. But the time is very less, my dear friends. The time is just like this life of this soap bubble. Time is very, very less. By the time you talk about AI, today I am telling that AI is outdated. By the time we talk about ambient intelligence, AMI, the other technology comes into the market. Yes. So that means your impact, your path of getting influenced, your experiences, your learning process should be very, very short. The transit time between impact and application is less than nanoseconds. So you understand that how you must be fast enough to do it. Then you can ask me, sir, don't beat around the bush, sir. So please tell me what is actually we need if you want to become a good AI expert. What you want to know is, first of all, you should know about its features. You should know about its robustness. You should select an application. You should hang on to one algorithm or two algorithms, and you should make out a kind of small programming. If you don't know programming, no problem. You can hire a person who knows the programming, because AI expert system is not built by only one single person. You require a team for it, and you need some kind of sensors expertise. And when you have this bunch of people, you can definitely create a very good applications in AI systems. Okay. Of course, this I just want to show you. A bit of chemistry is also helpful here. Okay, that is the reason why I'm showing you this slide. We have minerals in a cell phone, right? We have different minerals in a cell phone. These are the minerals. Similarly, you see the other way. In every chemical application, you have an electronic component into it. The other side I want you to look at. Don't look like, okay, silver is used in circuitry. No, in circuitry, we also use silver. In circuitry, we also use copper. In microchip, we use silicon dioxide. In speakers, we use ferrite systems, right? So the reverse you look at, then things will be more interesting. Just to give an indication, yes, this is what. Today, if you say that, sir, you please guide us in finding out a perfect application which is AI enabled, I'll suggest you this application. You need not go beyond this. Anything which is clean, you just take it as an application. There's a single word. Anything which is clean. Clean in the sense renewable. Clean in the sense it is not what you can say non-destructive. Clean in the sense its byproducts are not disturbing the ecological balance. Clean in the sense it is cost effective. Clean in the sense it is intrusive. Clean in the sense it is adaptable and easily maintainable. Okay, so this is what clean means. So there is something called as solar panels. In fact, in a recent Smart India hackathon by one of my students, they proposed that, yes, I use one stepper motor, sir. I'll connect one stepper motor to a solar panel and it moves like a, what you can say, sunflower, and it gives you the 360 degrees of solar radiation absorption, and then we can get maximum electrical energy which can be amplified and use it for domestic purposes. I said, this is my grandfather's idea. I said, using a stepper motor to a solar panel is my grandfather has done it. Why you are explaining again to me? Now technology is going at a different level. Don't use stepper motors. See to that how a solar panel can be moved with a small application in your mobile phone. An application in your mobile phone should trigger the solar panel, and it has to set the degree or the angle in which the panel has to be inclined towards the light source to get the maximum absorption. Why you use 8051 microcontroller, which was used already by many people earlier? This is where the intrusion of newer technology is possible, making things automated. Then a conflict arises here. Sir, when a web application or when mobile application can be done, which operates a solar panel, then what is the use of AI system here, sir? Why do you require robust solar panels? In fact, in recent competition, one of a science student was explaining to me on the National Science Day, 28th February. Yes, 28th February, or yes, correct. On February, when I visited one place, there he was explaining, sir, there is big solar panel on the top of my apartment. I want to break it. I want to make it very small. Please listen to this example. It's a wonderful example. I have a bigger solar panel on the top of my apartment. It is irritating, occupying the space. I want to make it small. Will you help me? I said, yes, I'm ready, but you tell me the application. He said, sir, I want to use it to Pani Puri guy. I want to give that particular model to Pani Puri guy. Because on the top of Pani Puri, if you see that there is a Petromax light or a kind of LED bulb, and where that electric connection will be borrowed or rented or begged from the nearby shop on a day-to-day basis, it can be avoided. You can avoid it. You can provide an AI-enabled solution to the Pani Puri guy by miniature version of a solar panel, which can be charged up for some hours and evening maximum 3 hours is his business. You can create an innovative model and sell it off, which is less than 150 rupees or 200 rupees, less than that LED bulb. If you can customize, you are entering into the market of AI-enabled systems. This is possible only with students and professors working in electronics and computing domain. This is one hardcore reality where you can pitch out your idea. You can make a commercially viable solution. Of course, it is not as easy as I spoke, but it can be tested and verified because school students are working on it. We are speaking about it. School students are working on AI-enabled models. So this is one example. I just want to show you how AI can be do it. So we can't solve a problem by using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them. Yes, problems are created by us. Of course, wonderful solutions are also created by us. In fact, I just want to tell you here, Einstein has told once, if you cannot explain anything in simplest terms that is possible to you, you are not understood it. If you understood it, you can explain it very, very simple. So what we are saying, what is AI? Whatever your experiences, what is your behavior, what is your natural capacity, what is your natural intelligence, if you can translate and infuse and implant into the machines and enable them to take the timely decisions, then you are succeeded as an AI-enabled scientist or engineer. Right? The Einstein's dream of explaining it in the simplest terms becomes possible only when you are able to take the technology to the roadside Pani Puri platform. That is how the AI-enabled systems can be used. Now, once again, I'm showing you, because today, as many people have spoken about algorithms, I don't want to disturb you and bore you with again the same stuff. So I'm just rallying around the kind of applications and features related to it. So these are some of the direct applications of AI systems. I am heading into the last half an hour of the session. I'll just take 1 minute break here because in communication, there is a theorem called as Shannon's theorem. A fast sender should not swamp over a slow receiver. That teacher has come, he spoke something for 2 hours and it went like Rajdhani Express. I have not understood anything. That should not be the experience of the participant here, because the organizers have taken a lot of effort in bringing our people from different corners of India and giving you the chance of listening to them. So I'll just give 1 minute break here and please rethink what has happened in the last almost 1.5 hours, and then we'll proceed to the rest of the slides. Slides are not important. Interaction is very, very important. Let me come back in 1 minute. Meanwhile, I'll just want to check with Dr. Kannan, sir. Sir, when the next speaker arrives into the meeting, sir, so that I'll try to finish and plan accordingly.
6 p.m. sir, 6 p.m.
6 p.m. sir. Thank you, sir. Dr. Suman, sir. Thank you for it. So before I'll try to make it up. Yes. Thanks a lot. So before I'll try to make it up, I think 1 minute cushion period is not yet done, but I am just disturbing others. What happened in the last 1.5 hours? Nothing has happened. Anybody? Ms. Jubeda, ma'am? Anything happened?
Yes, sir. We have talked everything about AI, sir. How it is interrelating with everything.
Everything. Is it interesting?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then thanks a lot. Then shall we continue, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Yes, very good. So let us get into the last half an hour of our session. Now, this is self-explanatory slide. I don't need much explanation to it because we are speaking about it from last 1.5 hours. And I request all the participants to choose one before I'm going away from this slide. You choose one area to work with AI. Any one area. You can apply this in any area. All the areas are feasible. Don't ask me a question like, sir, which one is easy to apply? It is not the ease. It is the applicability you have to see. It is the reachability you have to see. Right? How close you can go to the common man, how close you can take your technology to the common man should be the objective here. Right? So you choose one area. In any area you can use the AI. I don't want to waste my time here. So this is where I just want to emphasize. This particular dimension is very, very important. Very important. AI is an intersecting circle of all these things which I have mentioned on the slide now. About philosophy in AI, you ask the researchers, data scientists. About AI, SWAM intelligence, you ask intelligent algorithms from mathematics. Like intelligent algorithms like ant colony optimization is there, ABC is there, Kuptum algorithm is there. So not Kuptum algorithm, Cuckoo algorithm is there, Kuptum related to fast convolution. I'm very sorry about it. So there are algorithms, intelligence algorithms, which are related to computational intelligence. You can ask them. Economics, of course, as it is disruptive, it is economics driven. There are a lot of trade-offs related to. to it. And neuroscience, yes, I have shown you already. Psychology, I emphasized very clearly in the one slide related to amygdala. And linguistics, yes, in NLP, in natural language processing, the importance of AI is huge, huge. Today, NLP systems are directly helping to design systems which are interactive, and where you can have a very clear linguistic translation from one particular language to another particular language, and that is how it is so useful. And control theory of codes. You have open loop as well as closed loop systems here. Open loop, am I audible, ma'am? Yes, we have both open loop as well as closed loop systems here, where in which you can think about this design of AI systems. Okay. Now, once again, coming back and linking AI with natural intelligence. In natural intelligence, we have these two things. One is conscious, the other one is unconscious. Okay. You can design a robot. In fact, from Arkansas University, one of our professor asked me a question, Kishore, can we design a robot which can replace a teacher? I said, it's impossible. Impossible. Any robot, even in near future, cannot replace a good teacher. I think teachers in this particular forum can agree with me. I made it as an open challenge. A good teacher can never replace by any kind of Sophia or any kind of Alexa, whatever you may be, whoever visits your classroom, because you can design systems with a kind of conscious effort, which are best suitable to conscious way of responding to the queries or inputs or to the stimulus. But it is not so when it comes to the unconscious mind, because it is random, sporadic, instant, vibrant, dynamic, ever changing, right? How much amount of random process you can infuse into a system? Please tell me. You can discuss about possibilities, you can calculate the probability, but the prediction is always incomplete. Let me repeat. You discuss about possibilities with all permutations and combinations. You calculate your probability with all Bayes theorem, P of B by A equals to P of A intersection B by P of B. That's what it says, right? You can use Bayes theorem for conditional probability and understand how and when and why this particular outcome comes. But you can never think about the kind of randomness that meets to you as a surprise. That only possible with human intelligence. Okay. So that is where even, sir, you are just rallying around words. Can you give me a standard example? Can you tell me a good camera? Can you tell me a good camera which is close to the pixel resolution of human eye? Anyone? Is there any good camera that fits to the resolution of human eye? Not so. Not so. You cannot find any camera which is very, very clear, as clear as a natural human eye. That's it. It summarizes. If you can't replicate one particular component of the perfect designer who has designed you and me, then how you can expect an AI-enabled system to have its completeness, covering the unconscious part of our human brain also? SFR reality. Okay, you may have supercomputers, but not super brains, which can humans have and can be replaced, because human mind is a composition of these three things. What you are seeing in human mind is only superficial. You can see ego, you can see superego, you can see ETH-driven, pleasure-driven systems, but their depth is very, very huge. You can never think. In fact, in Google, there is a very very good picture. A very good picture is a mother holding a baby, and her hair is falling down on the floor, and her hair is full of thoughts, different thoughts. The husband comes and asks that particular mother, what do you want? She says the answer, I want nothing. It is a superficial expression, conscious effort of giving a response. But in that hair, that cartoonist has given a lot of other answers which are possible, which are running inside the mind, right? You may use whatever amount of mathematical excellence that you can infuse into your processor, but still the decision making cannot happen because our human mind is a pandemonium of neurons with a great degree of complexity of 10 power 11 connectivity with 10 power 4 to 10 power 6 biological neurons, which are agile and active always, reflecting some kind of neurotransmitters journey from one particular soma to another particular soma inside your human brain through dendrites, different kinds of dendrites. So it is not because I'll just tell one simple thing. Even in medicine also it has become very impossible. There is one disease called as I think we call it as Parkinson, and in British we have a different name. I'm not getting it exactly. Motor neuron disease. I think you know about it. There are 1,000 neurons inside human brain which are responsible for motor neuron disease. Till date, all this kind of medical excellence could not able to identify exactly what are the neurons that are responsible for this motor neuron disease. That's it. It summarizes. That is the complexity of human brain. Okay. So never underestimate natural intelligence. So I'm not belittling artificial intelligence, but you should know the limit of it. I just want to show you some other thing, which is where this is very important. It looks interesting, right? It is nowhere related to AI, you think, but enthusiasm. The kind of enthusiasm that I think I have 2-3 participants, Mr. Kondababu sir and Ms. Jubeda ma'am, and Dr. G. Vimal Kumari ma'am also responded. It seems in between. This kind of enthusiasm is very important to peep into the technologies from a newer dimension. Imagine that this particular lens is AI, and you and me are these creatures who are interestingly looking towards the back engineering process. We are doing a back engineering process today because what you listened in the last 4 days is regular engineering, conventional way of understanding. Today we are understanding in an unconventional approach. So this back engineering results to the core concepts. So what are the core concepts that we are looking at today? Mapping. Okay. Why I showed that to you is this is what I strongly believe. Imagination is the highest form of research. If you don't have any kind of hypothesis today, you are not in a position. All kind of technological innovations are the works of greatest literary works, greatest authors. Okay, so that is what I believe. And there is one more point that AI systems today take care of, that ecological balance, the balance between environment as well as the industry. I think I have less time, so I'll just do one thing. So what I tried to do is this in the first half of my presentation. This is the research related to AI example. Today I'm discussing only one drop of it. Okay, so I'll just one thing. I'll ask you to concentrate here. So where can you? There is some kind of hiss or disturbance. I think I request any one participant to please take care of your mic so that it won't be any hindrance to our lecture. Okay. Now, when it comes to this AI in practice, AI in practice today, as and now we are speaking, is mostly in HR and education. That is why we are doing. So this is what this is the slide which I request all of you to carefully look at it. This is one of the good slides that summarizes the importance of AI. You generate the data, you analyze the data has to be handled by computational scientists, and which has to be verified or ratified by the theoretical observers with the form of validating their hypothesis, and then experimentalists or people working in the laboratories will do the rest of the work. So we are heading into the actual part of the backbone of these AI systems. Yes, this is the robustness of computational intelligence that is backing up artificial intelligence. And we have this whole set of algorithms that helps in developing all your SVMs and whatever algorithms people are talking about, RN and everything. And in this part makes me more interesting, swarm intelligence, because I worked in it. So we have particle swarm optimizations, ABCs, honeybee algorithm, right? And various algorithms are there. And this is how you have to design a system. I'm just giving you another clue now. How to design a system. You have a problem, you have theory. The key for designing a AI-enabled system is not program, not methods. It is developing a mathematical model. If you don't have a mathematical model, it becomes too difficult. I'll just tell you an example. This is one of the picture I have taken from one of my book that I've written, which is related to the, what you can say, ants. They go for foraging. Foraging means hunt for food. When the ants are going for foraging, they secrete one kind of hormone called as pheromone decomposition. So this is how even your training takes place in AI algorithms. So what happens is, I think, I'm very sorry, I'm getting some kind of noise here. Please take care of it. So when it comes to the ants, they leave some kind of secretion here. The secretion is pheromone, a hormone which comes out of the ant body. And the first ant or the leading ant generally goes by just dropping out the concentration. Please listen to this example very carefully. This is how we do the training also. So this particular ant deposits the pheromone and goes, first ant, and it comes back and again it goes. In one particular path, the pheromone deposition will be very, very high. Concentration is very, very high. So in that path, the rest of the ants also will follow and get this food. Simple. So this is how they optimize the path. Yes. This is how they optimize the path. In the same way, when you are making a decision, when you are taking a decision in somebody is saying something. Okay, fine. So when it comes to this, the algorithm trains through the most successful proposition, right? It takes a proposition which leads to a lesser loss function, and then the training gets iterative in that particular function on that particular transfer function. Just like ants bank upon a pheromone decomposition. This is a collective behavior. This is self-organized. This is optimized. This is decentralized. These are the 4 parameters that are related to development of ant colony optimization. And the other also, it's very simple. You initiate the population or data set. You find out the fitness function or transfer function. You go for feature selection. You go for reproduction or getting some kind of output, and you converge because of feedback mechanism. All these processes happens in all the algorithms that you have understood till now in AI systems. This is what the last intersection I am talking about. Technology, nature, computation. If you have an intersection between technology and computation, it is AI. If you have a nature and technology nexus, then you will call it as a social intelligence. No, if it is related to computation and natural, it is called as biological intelligence. If you have an intersection of all of them, you call it as artificial swarm intelligence. It is well advanced than your so-called SVM classifiers and all other XGBoost algorithms and all. So I am going to explain you one of an application that I have proposed in one of my book. This is application related to smart energy grid, smart grids in India, how you can do it and which place you can use these AI algorithms. This is a famous ACO algorithm, PSO algorithm, and as well as GSO algorithms. These algorithms we can use in optimization, particularly in energy utilization, renewable energy utilization. This is the possible area of application. Renewable energy utilization means in smart grids, we have energy from wind, we have energy from hydropower, we have energy from thermal, coal, right? We have energy from nuclear, we have energy from solar, but they are not available all the time throughout the year. So how you can arrive at definite conclusions and how to make use of a decision that is taken in an appropriate manner using your AI expert systems enabled by ACO, PSO or GSO systems is what a possible area of application that can be used in smart grids. And then the other one is related to weather forecasting. Of course, I have said in smart energy management, weather forecasting is also very important. The parameter of the dimension of prediction in AI algorithms actually helpful in going for a weather forecasting. And the decision making is, of course, by routing. The routing is useful in various branches of electronics and scheduling, particularly in enabling any kind of embedded systems. And then we have an ABC, artificial bee colony algorithm. just like how bees collect the nectar and a kind of hunt happens for it. In the same way, we can have an iteration. We have a delta T expression in that. If you can Google my name with artificial swarm intelligence, you can find this book and you can learn more detailed information related to it. As it is only 15 minutes, and I think another speaker also has to come in, so I'll just go a little faster here. So when it comes to the diagnosis, yes, we have fault tolerant systems. Fault tolerance in the sense, it is not that we are designing the systems which are fault proof, error proof. Faults do occur, errors do occur, systematic errors, gross errors, different set of errors do occur. But when the errors occurs, how your AI enabled system understands the deviation in the response and self corrects it, how it infuses the immunity into it, is called as diagnosis as well as detection. Of course, diagnosis is a combination of detection and correction. Okay, the total process. So your AI enabled system should have this failure analysis as well as timely decision and correction. The best example is how these telecommunication systems are used. Okay, this is one straight application I have proposed, and there are various other things. The difference between traditional and smart grids, those things I need not explain here. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, you can see the book I have written here. Book chapter, in fact, this one is what ASI applications, artificial swarm intelligence applications in different fields. In the intelligent communication systems, smart grid I mentioned in the book, medical diagnosis, of course, in the COVID time. In fact, I have written one paper on COVID related thing, right? It got even published in IEEE Explore. Now, this is all about how you talk about third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave, 10th wave, but how the wave erupts, how the wave settles down. We have trained using, in fact, one of the speaker, you have listened to him on the first day, Professor Murugan. Professor Murugan and myself, we have proposed a paper on this COVID prediction model, right? And we could able to identify when the third wave erupts, and we have produced a paper on it. So you can use it in medical diagnosis. So I just keep up these slides because I can speak about them a little later if at all time permits. And yes, when I am talking about intelligence cycle, because when you design an AI enabled system, it is not that you design once for all and you ask to live with it. You have to collect it, the information in an updated manner. You have to go for a kind of analysis. The information has to be disseminated. There must be a kind of adaptability that would exist between environment as well as the agent that you have created in AI system. The agent, in the sense, holistically, I have given a name like agent, but it comprises of sensors as well as actuators. Of course, actuators are the mobility elements. Fine, sensors belongs to data acquisition, you know about it, but the perception differs from environment to environment, and thereby the outcomes related to actions also will be reflected in the same way. But all are depending upon some kind of if rules, if else rules. These if else rules are related to action reaction pair, which is Newton's law once again. Okay, so and one more thing which I want to propose here, computer vision. NLP I have talked about already. Computer vision is one area where you can use this AI enabled systems. We have different standards that are supporting this. Okay, HR I have already told, and once again, yes, Vedic VLSI is what we are working. In fact, Bindu Sweta is the right person to talk about it. So I just want to tell you, I'm almost heading into the last two slides. I believe this. I'm a strong believer of this guy. Right? Don't worry that, yes, too many things were told in today's session as well as in the last 4 days FDP, and I've learned some technical and non-technical stuff. Is it right time for me to talk about AI and do something related to AI? Yes, don't worry, my dear friends. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But ensure that you are moving at least one step forward every day, and make sure that your learning process makes you exciting. Okay, acknowledgements to my university, which has given the permission to deliver this particular session to you. I just want to stop 10 minutes before, because 5 minutes at least for interaction, 5 to 7 minutes, and the last 3 minutes for the next speaker to come and settle down. This is from my side, and thanks a lot for all the organizers. And if at all any questions, I'm ready to take it, because I just rallied around and given an eagle's view about the AI as a disruptive technology in modern era. I stick on to only the title of this topic, and I have not gone into the very technical details because all other friends would have already dealt about it. Yes. Any questions, participants? Any questions?
Participants, you can raise questions. The expert is available with us for another 5 more minutes. You can raise your questions.
Ravikumar sir, any questions posted in the chat box, sir?
Sorry, sir.
Any questions posted in chat box?
Hello?
Yes, please.
Sir, can you explain about how AI techniques applied for waste management, sir?
Which one, ma'am?
Waste management, sir. Waste management.
Waste management. Very nice, ma'am. Excellent question it is. Ma'am, waste management means, in fact, we have the most advanced topic. Let me take e-waste management. Okay. Waste management is a huge topic. In fact, we are even recently I have proposed one project to Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, UBA also. It is as simple as it, man. For example, imagine that there is a smart bin. Let us talk about a village kind of environment. A smart bin you have designed. Normal dustbins are there which takes the garbages, collects the garbages in a village, and the village volunteers will go and dump them somewhere in a dump yard. Okay, but we are not sure that whether this dustbin is complete or not. Time and again, I can't go and check. In a small village, it is possible. In a metro, it may not be possible. Imagine that in a sewage department, in a head office, you have a control panel wherein which you have, for example, if you are in Andhra, for example, you may be in Visakhapatnam, there is something called as Sitamadara, HB Colony, or Rushikonda, or something else. Okay, so different places. It is hardly impossible for a person to go on a bike or car every day to check which particular dustbin is completely filled. So you can have a sensors, a moisture sensors there. It's very easy as an electronics person to implant any kind of moisture sensor there. All the sensors can be integrated through a Wi-Fi mode, right? And you can develop an intelligent agent which can checks the completeness of all these smart bins, and the same thing can be displayed on a control panel that can be placed in any kind of sewage department. Then by looking red or green symbol, we can see that yes, like in our aeroplanes, red and green indicates the toilet is occupied or not. That kind of GUI we can always bring into it, so that you can even develop a mobile application also to know that a map can be placed wherein which the smart bins are there, and whether they are green or red you can check, and accordingly you can send your staff there to collect or clear the garbage into it. It is so easy. You can avoid a lot of manpower there. You can save much work, much timing in that, and it is even very apt and timely. Nobody raises a complaint also to you that the bin is overflowing. This is one of a system where you can use in waste management. It is completely IoT enabled. Am I answered, ma'am?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other question?
Sir, in renewable energy, sir, like solar or...
Ma'am, exactly, I told you. I've already shown you one example of smart energy system. In the smart energy simple
laser was connected.
Yeah, I'll give once again the reminder to you. Say that you are a smart energy scientist or a person working in electricity department, and now you are in a smart energy office, and you are in the May month. There is no chance of rain, so there is no hydroelectricity that you cannot depend upon. So wind is also maybe minimal in the May month. So wind energy is not there. Solar energy is abundant. You will get it. You can bank upon it, right? And the coal energy, of course, is moderate. But this is experiences. Suppose if you are giving it to a system, right? Any kind of ASI algorithm taking this decision making process easy, it has to take all these factors into account, that which month which is available in which quantity in this region. There are other factors. It is not as simple as I say. There are many factors which are influencing the decision making process, And if at all, if you design a system using your machine learning algorithm, and if it tells you that to your smart grid that yes, in this particular month of this year, you have to bank upon these kind of renewable energies because other energies are not readily available in order to meet the demand and supply ratio of electricity management, domestic electricity management especially. So this is a direct application, ma'am. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sir, I wanted to ask you one question. Can you allow me?
Ma'am is very happy. You can do.
Sir, I am living in a coastal area, Ratnagiri,
Yes.
near Goa, sir. But it is there. Sea is near to me 1 kilometer. But sir, I have observed that in Konkan area there is no that Pawan chakkis. They are not so much. They are having the government projects are not there, sir. And why such a lot of their wind energy is there, their solar energy is there, but sir, not sir, wind generation plants or something like that, sir.
No,
No,
what is the
sir.
question, ma'am? What is the question?
So, such as my question to you is, sir, that the person's attitude also, sir, makes a lot of difference.
That
Sir.
is why, ma'am, today I have presented you psychodynamic approach because most of the research are missing this particular component. AI-enabled systems are incomplete without including the human behavior into cognizance. In fact, let me tell you, as you raised about coastal area, in Tamil Nadu, we have a very good coastal belt. And one of my students from civil engineering department, Mr. Melvin, and team, they are clearing the beach, coastal beaches from last 70 weeks. And Tamil Nadu government has appreciated this effort and sponsored the student to Dubai to know about the coastal maintenance project there. And now he is in Dubai. He comes back. After that, Tamil Nadu government is going to hand over few kilometers of beach to the team of students to develop a system which can make this project clean, coastal belt clean. So these kind of works are there. Governments are encouraging. Only thing is we have to approach the right people with a kind of project plan. Definitely it will be a success. People are there, ma'am, working on it. Only thing is we have to make dots connected. That's it.
Sir, but I have observed that the people from Konkan area, they are opposing the industrialization, sir. Because attitude, sir.
That is always them. Then you need a psychologist, then artificial intelligence data scientist there.
Yeah, sir. Because that is the sir. Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the concern. Yes, if any questions are there, we can take. Otherwise, last 2 minutes, and it is to the organizers or to the organizers. Sir, Kanan sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Kishore, sir. Thank you very much for your wonderful presentation. Okay, for the past. I think people they would have forgotten that 10 minutes delay. Okay.
Sir, if they are forgotten, if they are forgotten, I am blessed, sir, because I really worried because I was traveling with suddenly there is a transformer eruption because of heat. So we lost the power in institution. I rushed back to home. Once again, sorry for that 10 minutes delay.
No need to say because you have compensated so many things. No issues. You have that with your presentations. We are very happy. Thank you very much, Dr. Kishore.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, from my side, on behalf of our management, our GMRIT management, and also on behalf of Sri Sairam Institute of Technology, Chennai management, let me just thank you very much for this wonderful session. Thank you very much.
Thanks, sir. You need not say thanks, sir, but as an organizer, you are saying I don't know to accept. Okay, sir. I'm always there, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. You will be sharing your material along with your email ID, sir.
I'll send the material, but by this time you would have understood nobody can do nothing with this material. They all are general pictures. If you want, I'll share them. Better you can ask for the recorded session of it. That will be more useful than material. But I'll share my PPT to Dr. Kannan, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Email ID is also there, sir, on it.
My email ID is drkishore.sonti@gmail.com.
Okay, thank you, sir. Dr. Kishore. Okay.
Sir, shall I leave? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thanks
Sir,
for all the participants. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think Dr. Vijayarajan sir has joined. I think Vijay sir is there. Yeah, we will ask our participants to relax for 5 to 10 minutes. Now it is 6 o'clock. We will
Thank you.
take care.